IB stands for International Baccalaureate. There are about 1,500 IB schools worldwide. I want to say about 300 and some in the US, 35 or so in California. And these are probably old stats, but I don't think it's blown up that much. For a long time, Foothill High School was the only international baccalaureate school in Kern County. And there are different ways to describe it. We several years ago switched over to AP, Advanced Placement. You could make a case that the two are fairly equivalent in that they're focused on college, authentic college preparation, and there's testing involved that allows kids to, different schools handle it different ways, test out of certain classes or get even college credit for certain classes. But at the time, IB was kind of sold as like an academy within a public school. And what I used to tell kids was it's about the most authentic preparation you're going to get for college in terms of its rigor and just kind of the thought process. And the kids could test in one class or two or all six, or they could also do what was called the full diploma, where they did a certain number of hours of community service. They wrote a rather lengthy, I want to say, many thousands of words research project. And then they took a class called Theory of Knowledge, which I taught for 7 years, something like that, 8 maybe. It was a zero-period class. We met at 6:45. And it wasn't philosophy per se, but it was what you might call epistemology. It was an inquiry into thought process, and essentially, how do we know what we claim we know? And we would take a systematic look at that question in every single subject. How does a historian know what he claims to know? When Mr. Carlotti is teaching about Gettysburg, well, how does he know what he's telling you? How can you research that and document it? What are some different perspectives, perhaps? How do statistics come into it? How does a mathematician know what she claims to know? It's mind-blowing to think, you guys might not realize this, or you might not find it fascinating anyway. Math is completely man-made. There's nothing natural about math. Math is mankind's attempt to understand and measure the natural world. So math was not given to us by God, unless you believe that God gave us everything. I'm sure some of you believe that. Math is our sometimes feeble attempt to measure, and as you know, it's the toolbox of science. So how does a mathematician know what he claims to know, especially when she has a different kind of math that's attempting to measure the same equation? So those are the kinds of things that we would discuss in every subject area in Theory of Knowledge, and it was a joy to teach that class. It was a great opportunity. I was still young. I was still very hungry as a teacher, and it was a wonderful opportunity. And I got to work with some of the top scholars at Foothill and a lot of really good kids.